My first memory of watching sword fight was when I was about a year and a half or less. I was on my mother's back and there was loud noise and my mother was trying to scare me and she took me to this school. We were passing by and she let me look into the window and I remember her saying tiger and I remember I didn't know how to say any words and I just watched them fighting with the swords. It was a Japanese style kendo school and I watched them bowing. So, my concept is like they're friends. Then they beat up each other with loud noise and then they bow each other. So I thought it was really fascinating. It's a legend. A swordsman always plays flute. Every boy has fantasy of becoming a swordsman.
The Santa Fe Trail. It was the route of the invading conquistadors. In later years, other legendary warriors, Geronimo, Buffalo Bill, Doc Holliday, and Billy the Kid, traveled along the same pathways. Today, a different warrior journeys the same trail. Although their spirits are common, their weapons are different. This warrior's weapon is a 600-year-old razor-sharp double-edged sword.
Everything. My name is Chang Jing, and I've been practicing martial art, especially Kung Fu, specializing in sword, what we call jian. Jian is double-edged blade, both side edged, sharp-edged, in comparison to Dao, which is one side edged blade. So I specialize in jian blade, and I trained in Korea under Master Song Sang-sik for about 15 years.
To his friends and colleagues, he is known as Sung Baek, a quiet, humble Vermont doctor, farmer, and horse owner. Those who know his warrior spirit refer to him as Grandmaster Zhang Jing, a man with a foot in two different worlds, the present and the ancient past, a true Renaissance man. Traveling to Denver, Colorado, he has assembled a handful of students to demonstrate and film a new sport. In the past, ancient weapons training has always been kept a national secret in order to protect nations against each other, the enemies. Now share the unique ways of cultivating and disciplining your lives via martial weapons. As with friends, the universality of this competition can cross the borders between nations. The different styles, philosophies, ethnic backgrounds will lead this competition into one universal sport. This will help exchange ideas, cultures, and build friendships to realize that this world is really one family.
Any sports is started from the idea of having fun. It is not 18th, 19th century or 16th century anymore. We don't require such warrior. We are fighting with our brain, our high tech. So it is not the warrior idea anymore. It's a discipline, but they don't want to have unnecessary bodily damage. Problem is to learn. They can only learn to pose, learn some forms, learn certain style of movements, but they cannot ever really practice because of the danger of it. People who go into weapon training, they somehow try to follow their childhood fantasy of this old warrior swinging swords. It has to be fun. When I first gave a couple of these soft weapons to my cousins, just to see how they react, they swung for hours and hours. I gave them this sponge bat. They were swinging at each other, and every time they hit, they were so happy to get hit, and they're laughing. I think this soft weapon idea is definitely promising to promote this childhood fantasy for every boy and girl. The purpose of the weapons combat is to simulate actual weapons fight in fast speed and high force. It is very important to give points for only good, clean, strong strikes. Allow any minor injuries like skin level cuts, but give points only for the powerful hit with clean chance. Here are some examples of fights and engagements, and audience should be their own judges. Winning is not a priority. Safety, sincerity, and respect are our main priority. Exchange of friendship is our second priority. Learning and experiencing is our third priority. As judges, fighters, spectators, we all share the experience of humanity. We elect champions of such celebration, and together we decorate them. After each successful vital strike, the judge will suspend the match and both athletes will return to their original starting positions in the middle of the circle. In this case, black helmet's lunge is ignored and white helmet is awarded 3 points. The federation scoring is very simple. Head and torso is awarded 3 points, all other area 2 points. There are 8 scoring systems under the same judging rules. There are 2 minute, 1 minute, 12 point, 6 point systems. The first person who wins 12 points wins the game, or the one who accumulates the most points in given time wins the game. Only the athlete who strikes first during a mutual exchange will receive the point. The chief judge may stop and resume the match in such cases to clarify the situation. If the chief judge is not certain of the situation, no one is awarded any points. As in any physical activity, a proper warm-up is necessary. The following is an qigong exercise to develop your internal qi. Relax your mind and control your breath. Loosen up the joints and organize all the stances. I've been teaching martial arts in Midwest area. I trained Chicago police HB team, which is like SWAT team, and some people who are in the intelligence section, FBI. Some of them were training with me. We'll use wooden sword, and we have to really be ready to get hurt. Sometimes we break bones, and having real deep bruises. I was competing mostly in the Japanese style because weapons are too dangerous to spar with. When we become fourth degree black belt, we'll be allowed to spar with a real sword. But we cannot really interact with another person because we cannot have like double elimination using sharp-edged blade because, you know, we're eliminated forever. So when we are sparring in old style with a real sword, we'll wait until about 5 years of training. People who are really eager to learn certain weapons, they walk into a martial arts school and they realize they have to spend 2 years before they can even grab a sword in their hand. They quit. So it remains a dream, never coming to reality. So soft sword weapon idea is rather upside down. We immediately let them swing it because it is harmless. We don't require all the physical training, so they can get into it. So this is gonna start as easy sports, which keeps them fun and also fulfill our fantasy of being a swordsman or weaponman as a boy and girl when we were children.
My name is Manuel Taninco. I was born in Manila, Philippines. I operate 3 martial arts schools. I maintain one school that has over 300 members. We teach Kempo Karate, Aikijitsu, Tai Chi, Kung Fu, Philippine martial arts. I was taught to block with bare hands against weapons, such as this one I'm holding on my hand. And however, we have developed the headgear equipment as well as the body gearing equipment that enhance the students to practice more in a less dangerous situation, and definitely more recreation and fun.
Regardless of your skill level, you should always give everything to your opponent fully. You don't plan a movement, you just move. After you succeed your blow, you get out of the way. Engagements always continue until judges stop action. By disarming your opponent, you score 3 points. However, this does not end an engagement. You can score additional points by continuing until a vital blow is delivered. Here are some of the basic sword movements. In Korea it is called ganpap or balto. In Japan it is also called iaido. The swing we make from left to right is most powerful cut in swordsmanship. It can cut from shoulder to the waist in half. It is not the speed, it is rhythm. Here we are demonstrating the rhythm of the weapon fighting. The direction is guided by the shoulder angle. As sword comes out, it should slide on the chest, aiming at the enemy's direction. After cut is made, it is custom to clean the blade by shaking it off. Left hand here is not supporting the blade, it is guarding the eyes from the blood coming out of the enemy's body. This is an application of the previous movement. This is a sitting cut. The most important part is to pull the sword out all the way on the left corner to allow more space for the sword to be swung. This is a simple movement of thrust. You simply go slightly on the right, go out of the sight, and thrust right in the throat. You block opponent's attack, turn your posture around, lower the sword, cut upward from waist up. This movement is designed to block strong attack of the enemy's weapon and enter deeply into enemy's distance and cut from bottom to top. This movement is to shorten the distance between you and your enemy. You quickly lunge and shorten the distance. First, pull the sword. Keep the sword on the left corner so you may swing at the target. The sword has to be kept on the left. You lunge with left foot and land on the right foot. And it is important to keep the sword tip toward the center. This is the application of the previous movement. Lunge and thrust. Then block upward. Then pull right leg around, lower the weapon, sit down, cut, This is a continued movement from previous technique. After horizontal cut, you block on the left side, keep the center of the sword in the middle, lunge forward, land on the right leg, horizontal cut.
Sparring with the soft weapons allows you to try different techniques that you might not have been able to do with hard weapons. It lets you experiment. It lets you do more research into your style and other styles that you may encounter.
We were working out with the bamboo swords and the kendo armor, and you know, after being hit on the head a bunch of times and bruised and beat up, it was fun. I still liked it, but you know, the price you pay is pretty high. And the soft weapons were an idea that just came out, and you can have so much more fun. I could practice my techniques and block them and hit them, and we all had fun. You could take out your aggressions and laugh, and it's more like play. It's something that anybody can do, really, and the minimal amount of instruction, you can really learn a lot fast. And you can learn more and get better if you want, or just take out some aggressions. I've had some women friends of mine who liked it, and they said it's better than therapy.
Here's a contrast of two different styles: Filipino Kali fight and Taoistic Udang style, crane style internal sword. The following is the sword form adopted by the Federation. It includes 25 movements. The first movement is a ready stance. You pull the sword with left hand, drop arms, sword forward, block forward, kick down with the left leg, change hand, cast stance, ready stance. First movement is attacking Zhongfu point. Curve your body, give a springy motion toward the point, and give a snap to the tip of the blade. This movement will thrust into Zhongfu and stop opponent's breathing. Second movement you saw briefly was attack of Shenmen on the right arm. This movement is to attack Ta-in on the left side of forehead. This movement is toward Tianfu point. Twist the sword to block, come around, and then forward strike, thrust into the tianfu on the throat. This movement is to attack Bai Hui, the top of the head, and Ren Mai, the center line of the body. Block the attack by turning to side, then bring around downward with strike top to the bottom. You should remember that fingers should follow striking hand. Followed by Shenmen and Yangling Chen attack. This is Yang Jiao Mai attack. You block, step in, and slice upward, aiming at many points at once. The stance is horse stance. The next movement was Yin Jiao Mai attack. Same stance, horse stance. This is how the movement applies in actual fight. The repetition of Yang Xiao Mai attack. Horse stance, bottom up, horse stance again, with sword on the left corner. It is vital to sustain precise horse stance with the center of the body right in the middle of the 2-foot position. Next movement is attack of point Shanzong. Shanzong is center of the chest, which would immediately cause heart attack. The stance required is golden rooster stance. The next movement is Dai Mai attack. Step forward with right foot and cut from left to right across the torso. The Dai Mai is on the level of umbilicus, the navel. Dai Mai attack. This is how the application works. The following movement is attack of left side Zhongfu point. First, block with golden rooster position. Left foot up, right hand in, strike to opponent's left side Zhongfu. This will immediately stop breathing. This movement is again Tian-Tu point, the center of the throat. Turn the sword to block to wrap around opponent's weapon, then thrust into the Tian-Tu point. Commonly we give vibration to the tip of the sword to cause more impact. This movement is Mingmen attack. Step right over left and then block. Twist around and cut opponent's back. Mingmen point is right on the level of second lumbar vertebrae. Sometimes we can block with the left hand to use Jin-Na technique. This movement is Chongmai attack. Drop the sword, quickly lift it up, sliding across the Chongmai. Chongmai is right in the center of the body. This is how it applies. This movement is the attack of Ji-Chuan. It is a forward strike and thrust simultaneously. Ji-Chuan point is right in the middle of armpit. This point will also cause instant heart attack. This is how Ji-Chuan point would apply in actual combat situation. This movement is Jinna block and Baihui attack. It is a cross step block with left hand, slice top of the head, Baihui point. With precise movement, without cutting the head, this point will immediately cause stroke. Tian 2 point attack. Wrap around, close the distance, give a vibration to the tip of the sword. This movement is designed to go into the throat and downward toward the heart. With the same technique, this movement is used to attack Ranzong point, the center of the chest, which would also cause heart attack. Following movement is tiger step. This is one of the very famous steps in Shaolin Temple. This is called either black tiger or tiger step. The point attacked is Shanzong point. It is very vital to move your body left to right while you are airborne. 21st movement, backstep with Shenmen attack, In Jiao Mai attack, and Taiyang attack. While you are backstepping with cast stance, you attack Shenmen twice, In Jiao Mai twice, and then finally Taiyang point. Following movement is repetition of Shenmen, In Jiao, Taiyang 3-point attack. This movement is Baihui and Renmai attack. Please notice, after Baihui, you slide down and cut Renmai. This movement is Shenmen, Jusanli, Shanzong, 3 points simultaneous attack. Cross step, block, then come around and thrust to Shanzong. This movement is a horizontal block and attack Dai Mai. Dai Mai is a belt line across the navel level. Cross step, get in, cut across navel. The last movement is backstepping with 2 Shenmen attack, 2 In Jiao Mai attack, then block the back, attack Taiyang, turn around, and eliminate all the surrounding opponents. The last stance will be horse stance. It is very important to have strong swing and spin and land on both feet simultaneously. This is how traditional Wudang and Washanfai sword used to return swords back to scabbard.
Under the banner of the International Contact Weapons Sports Federation, this new sport has been endorsed by over 60 other Grandmasters, including Premier Swordswoman Grandmaster Ho Wei Chi, who many believe is the greatest swordswoman in the world. The climax of this demonstration was to be a first-time ever filmed duel between Grandmasters Ho Wei Chi and Zhang Jing. This duel would be fought with real razor-sharp double-edged swords. The slightest mistake by either party could result in serious, if not fatal, injury.
My name is Wei Qi He. I'm from Virginia, Richmond, but my regular from China and Shanghai. It's big city. I take China all country competition several times. So my special form, special weapon is straight sword, single straight sword and double sword. I'm started my kung fu. In China, it's called wushu. About 12 years old. Before I learn kung fu, wushu, I'm in the gymnastics school. My teacher is Taiji teacher, is very famous in China. He's 87 years old now. He's from young star family. So now I teach both program. One is for kids under 16. I teach them this course Shaolin Kung Fu. As this form is strong, fast, kids lovely. The teach adults is for internal exercise like Taiji Qigong. Anytime I demonstration for the straight sword, I'll follow internal feeling to do some technique. Movements is different. So I design the movements, I'll follow my internal feeling. That means the weapon very near me, close to me, are lovely. So makes different feeling and the different movements. Every time when I demonstration or competition after this, many people will ask me or once follow me learn my form.
When I'm swinging sword, I can sense certain battlefield. I can smell blood. I can smell and hear what's like real serious battlefield. Especially when I'm doing certain style of sword, which is designed to go through enemies' army for this soldiers formation. It's almost like dancing, almost like making umbrella all around our body, and we cut anything that comes against. When we do right, which means we do exactly the way the original master developed, and we can almost feel through the original artist, the one who created, almost like past life kind of memory. We can almost taste or feel what's going on around. It seems to bring out certain strange memories, the sense of feeling things are being destroyed around, or almost you can smell the blood around, or something just coming to the head, unknown memory, which I never experienced before. Federation we call International Contact Weapons Sports Federation. We can mingle them with their styles, and by simple rules, basically when you battle, who's gonna hit whom, so who's gonna get killed and who's gonna survive. I believe every different styles of weapon discipline, European or Asian, Tibetan, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, French, German, we can just come into the one place and meet. And not only it's going to contribute to cultural exchange, and also it can almost unify this weapon sports, develop new friendship, and then maybe we can make more universal sports heading toward maybe Olympic sports. I came to America about almost 20 years ago. We have in America ideas and philosophies of different cultures, so it's going to become understood that we are all one.
There are no double elimination tournaments with real weapons. Fortunately, there is an alternative. Contact weapons are the safe, soft version of real martial arts weapons. Contact weapons are the only weapons sanctioned by the International Contact Weapons Sports
Soft weapons
Federation.
allow you to learn more about weapons more quickly and how to use them.
Contact weapons are carefully constructed martial arts weapons. Every layer of these patent-pending weapons is designed to absorb the impact of each strike. Specific materials are used for safety. The outer layer is made of supplex nylon that helps to prevent scratches or cuts. The first inner layer is sponge-like foam with air pockets that absorb the energy of the strongest attack. The second inner layer is coiled plastic cover which collapses upon impact. The tip of the weapon is a foam pad which bends with pressure. These weapons are durable. However, they've been designed to break before injuring an opponent. Attention school operators. Are you losing good students because they're losing interest? Challenge them before they leave. Students who have mastered basic techniques need the opportunity to measure their progress. Contact weapons in your classroom can accelerate your students' development and encourage their growth. Now your students can fully apply their weapon skills safely. New sport, new weapons. Students ask